Hi. Hi. Today I'm starting a series on 3 key questions to ask yourself before adopting a new family pet. Hi, Fiki. Okay, say bye to everybody. That's actually our most recent adoptee and one of the ones that was really successful. One of the reasons that I wanted to do this series is because of how many mistakes I've made. I'll just be blunt honest about that. When my husband and I first got married, we went grocery shopping, and right there in front of the Safeway was a big box with little Labrador puppies in it. And my husband reached in because, of course, I'm like oohing and ahhing because they're so adorable. And he reaches in and picks up one and hands it to me, and he starts singing "Happy Birthday." And so that's actually how we got our first family pet together. And we didn't plan, we didn't save, the timing really wasn't that good. And so it kind of set us off on this path of having a habit of falling for the, oh, isn't it adorable factor, rather than being really proactive, which would have been better for us as the adults, and then it would have been better for our children, and it ultimately would have been better for the animals as well. A couple of things that I really wish that I had done in terms of focus when the children were younger. I wish I had thought of family pets. Yeah, definitely. They're fun and they're beautiful and they're cute and snuggly and all the wonderful things they bring. But I wish I had been very focused on the maturity that they could help my children develop, because the care of a little dependent really could have helped them in their maturity if I had been much more intentional about that. And then the second thing that I wish I had focused on much more intentionally would have been the stewardship. Yes, there was a form of stewardship in that we were helping a little abandoned kitten have a better life, and that's a form of stewardship. But I wish that we had had many more family discussions, both between my husband and myself, and just as an overall family, about the financial aspect. And I'll talk about why in a couple of upcoming parts to this series. The question that I want to look at real quickly today is the question, what care will this pet really need, and who is going to be the person to actually give that care? And I wish that I had been more intentional with that question when my children were younger, because my kids did the classic, oh, Mom, I promise I'll feed it, I'll water it, I'll take care of it, I'll groom it. And then life took over, and I found myself doing most of the pet care, which I didn't really mind. I like animals. That wasn't an issue. I didn't resent it or anything, but we were missing out on the opportunities for the children to develop that maturity and to really take ownership and see that their time investment in the animal was a form of stewardship as well. And then also we've had some pets with sort of special needs. My daughter had a snake, and I really didn't pay attention to the fact that snakes have certain dietary needs. I won't describe them for those of you who are squeamish, but they relied on me to get in the car and drive to the pet shop on a regular basis. That was a nightmare. I have a dog now that has a lot of very long, thick fur, and when we got her, I knew that I was going to be the one to groom that dog. But if my children were younger and I wasn't in a stage where I could handle this dog sheds like crazy, then making a choice to get an animal that doesn't need that kind of grooming, one that doesn't shed much, would be really, really important. The other thing that kind of ties into this question is the timing. The timing and the resources, and I'm thinking of this in terms of the adults. Too many of our early animals we got on kind of a whim, kind of that spur of the moment. We fell in love, and we'd already felt like the animal had bonded to us, and we just couldn't leave without bringing it home, and we weren't ready. We didn't have the supplies. Our schedule was already packed, and so we were either rearranging our schedule or we were trying to cram the animal into that schedule. And it's only been the last couple of pets. My dog, my Kazond, we got her, and we scheduled her. We knew when the litter was coming, and we scheduled it so we could bring her home at the beginning of a Christmas break. And we knew we were going to be up at night with her, crying for her mom and her litter mates, and sure enough, she was. But we were able to crate train her. We knew the schedule for puppy classes, and we had already signed up for those and paid for them. And it was much more successful than any of our other dogs. And then when this little guy entered our life, yeah, he doesn't look very little now, does he? But he was the runt of the litter, and my daughter brought him home also at the beginning of a Christmas break and was able to really focus on him and take good care of him. And so in retrospect, I wish we'd been much more proactive in terms of the timing. Yes, it's fun to fall in love and bring home this little creature, but it's so much better for everybody involved when the timing is more carefully planned, so that it doesn't create emergencies and it doesn't create unrealistic expectations followed by disappointment.